Bryophytes, Pteridophytes, Gymnosperms, Angiosperms, Bryophytes are small plants because they have no true vascular tissue. They have leaf-like structures which absorb water through osmosis, and root-like structures called rhizoids which anchor the plant to the ground. Bryophytes reproduce by releasing spores to nearby areas. Water is necessary for the sperm to swim to the egg cells. This is why mosses are always found in damp areas, such as ponds or the bases of trees.
Pteridophytes are larger plants that have a developed xylem and phloem. They have true leaves with a waterproof cuticle to prevent water loss. They have a large branch system of roots that can absorb a lot of water. Sori are found underneath the leaves, which release spores when they are mature. They develop into prothallus, which can only develop in damp areas. Therefore, water is needed for reproduction.
Gymnosperms are large plants with well-developed vascular tissue to transport water, minerals and nutrients throughout the plant. They have well-developed roots and true leaves which are usually needle-shaped to reduce water loss. They reproduce using seeds in cones which are not enclosed in a fruit. They are mainly pollinated by the wind, but can be pollinated by some insects. Therefore, they do not depend on water for reproduction.
Angiosperms have developed vascular tissue as well as developed strength tissue. They have true leaves and well-developed roots, which allows them to live almost anywhere. Reproductive structures are enclosed within the flower. They require wind or animals to transport pollen for fertilization. After fertilization, the ovary develops into a fruit where seeds are stored. Therefore, water is not needed for reproduction.
male gametes are found within the pollen produced by the anther of the stamen.
The carpel is the female part which consists of the stigma, style and ovary. The ovules are found inside the ovary and are developed into seeds when fertilized.
This process is called pollination, which is the transfer of male gametes in the pollen to the female stigma.
In wind pollination, the anthers produce lots of pollen so that when the wind blows, there's a greater chance of the stigma, which is large, to catch the pollen.
Flowers pollinated by insects have brightly coloured petals and a scent which attracts the insects.
The pollen given off is also a rich source of protein for some animals and insects. The most common pollinator of flowers in South Africa is bees.
Most bird-pollinated flowers have brightly coloured parts which are attractive to birds. Birds are attracted to nectar, which is needed for energy. The pollen also sticks to the bird's feathers, which is carried to other plants.